Now, the official Suncoast weather with ABC7 meteorologist John Scalzi.
Beautiful shots in over the weekend of the gorgeous Sunday sunset. This was sent in by Cindy Desmond, a frequent contributor. Pics at mysuncoast.com. Snap one, send it in. We'll try to get it on the air for you. Beautiful colors last night. You know what? I think tonight might be a similar kind of night. We'll have these low kind of stratocumulus clouds kind of locked into a narrow layer of the atmosphere. And I think we'll see some breaks as we progress through the afternoon. I only felt comfortable giving us about a 10% chance of rain showers today. I just think that we're going to start mixing things away and getting more and larger breaks in these clouds as we head through the afternoon and into the evening hour. Dew point now up to 60. Thank you to the southeasterly component of our east-southeast wind. That's really pumping the humidity back. I think it's setting the stage for potentially some fog tomorrow morning. We'll watch for that. We have a east-southeast wind coming in at about 13. That should settle down, I think, a little bit during the overnight tonight. 76 in Wauchula, 77 in Mayaca, Arcadia, Parrish, Bradenton, Sarasota, 75 in Punta Gorda, 76 in Northport, 75 in Venice, 74 in Inglewood, 73 in Longboat Key. So you can see this morning we had clouds coming in at us from the Gulf waters, kind of high clouds, but they're most brightly illuminated by the infrared imagery during the morning hours, and so they came across. And then as they exited, we saw this plume of moisture coming up from the south underneath of them as the visible satellites started to kick in. And it's a significant plume of moisture as those winds have turned somewhat southeast. So that's one of the reasons that I put in that 10% chance of showers. And they're really kind of captured in a what we call an inversion. It's basically, if you think of a lid on a boiling pot, you know, it kind of keeps the steam in place. It doesn't allow the atmosphere to turn over so much. That's basically the effect of this high pressure ridge kind of trying to sink south over the course of the next couple of days, kind of putting a lid on our atmosphere. We're waiting for that lid to kind of be taken off the pot, and I think the daytime heating will help mix up the atmosphere and allow that to occur. I think so anyway. Low pressure area back to the west, of course, producing that major ice storm. It has produced ice from Colorado and will take it all the way up eventually to down east Maine as that low tracks north. High pressure over us, kind of keeping that low from really impacting us too terribly much. Chance of severe weather as well along that frontal boundary as it plows through the moisture coming up from Gulf waters in the deep south, that warm, moist plume. Another low pressure area going to move on shore eventually. It's still off our surface map, but it will provide just astonishing amounts of snowfall in the Pacific Northwest. We could get 15 feet of snow falling from this storm as it moves on shore in the highest elevations of Washington State. And then down a little further south, maybe 15 inches of rains in the mountains of California. So a tremendous storm about to move on shore there. For us, though, we won't notice it. It'll be mostly sunny skies, dry conditions, above normal warmth. Now, if you are headed to Washington, D.C. to see the inauguration and worried about the weather, there's cause, because it's kind of a sloppy surface map that's developing as we head into Thursday, Friday, and Saturday, and even Sunday. Currently, I'd say that we'd probably have a decent day in Washington, D.C. on Thursday. Not so decent day on Friday, inauguration day, probably rain showers around, and then clearing on Saturday with rains returning Sunday. But for us, it's going to be great right straight through the period, looks like, with above average temperatures as we head into the weekend. Winds, as I mentioned, coming in a little breezy and then kind of settling down as we head into the overnight at about 5 to 10. Forecast calling for daytime highs near 80 over the next several days, and then as we head into the weekend, maybe a chance of showers. Scott?